Good morning, Spelman. So today we're going to be doing lesson 15. And today we're going to do it a little different. Miss Torres is going to start by reading you guys a story. So let's get started. Once there was a crusty old man named Gustav Gustenberger, but nobody called him Gustav Gustenberger. Instead, they used the nickname Goober. The nickname Goober. Goober lived by himself on a small farm. That farm was right between two small towns. The town to the west of Goober's farm was called West Town. The town to the east of Goober's farm was called East Town. The people in West Town and East Town had mixed feelings about Goober. The reason they had mixed feelings was that Goober's farm had a very bad smell. He had dirty pigs that never took a bath. They didn't just smell sort of strong or kind of bad. They smelled awful. People would sometimes hold their nose when they walked near his farm, and when the wind blew from the east, the people in one of the towns would say, "Phew, what's that awful smell?" And when the wind blew from the west, the people in one of the towns would say, "Phew, I wish the wind would change soon." It would be easy for the people to hate Goober because of his smelly farm, but things were not that simple because of the violin. You see, although Goober's farm smelled so bad, Goober could play the violin so sweetly that people would just stop what they were doing and listen to the beautiful sounds that drifted on the breeze. Birds would stop singing because they were ashamed of their songs when they heard Goober's beautiful violin music. Some people who lived in West Town and East Town loved Goober. The reason they loved him was that they couldn't smell his farm. The breeze wouldn't carry the smell for more than a mile, but the breeze would carry Goober's music for more than a mile. So the people who lived more than a mile from Goober's place could hear the music but couldn't smell his pigs. Such wonderful music, they would say, as they sat out on their porches in the evening, listening to the music. Some people who lived in West Town and East Town were confused about Goober. They hated him and they loved him. They hated him because they lived less than a mile from Goober's farm. So when the wind blew from Goober's farm, most of them wouldn't sit out on their porch in the evening listening to the music. They would go inside and close all the windows and the doors. They wouldn't be able to hear the music, but they felt that was better than having to breathe in all that terrible smell. Oh, there was some real music lovers who would put clothespins on their nose and sit outside to enjoy the music, but they would get sore noses because they had to make sure that their clothespins were very tight or some of the smell would come through. So on a summer evening, Goober would get out his violin, sit on an old stump near his barn, and start playing. If there was no wind, all the people in West Town and East Town would be on their porches listening to his wonderful music. But if the wind blew to the west, there would be a lot of people in East Town with their noses shut up tight. Then, one day, something very strange happened. A little girl from West Town went over to visit Goober. That was very strange because nobody ever visited Goober. She took a big package with her and walked up to his farm where he was milking a cow. She held her nose and said, "Mr. Goober, you make nice music." But it didn't sound quite that way because she was holding her nose. What she actually sounded like was like this. "Mr. Goober, you make nice music." Goober looked up and said, "I do what?" She said, "Bake nice music." He shook his head and said, "Well, I can't do anything about that." She said, though you don't understand. He said, you don't. If you don't stop holding your nose, maybe I could understand what you're trying to tell me. So the little girl took a very deep breath, let go of her nose, and said very fast, we love your music, but you need to clean up your pigs. They stink. Gooper's eyes got wide and he stared at the girl for a long time. She was holding her nose again. At last he said, do my pigs really stink? She said, yes. He said, golly, I didn't know that. Then she handed Gobber her package and said, here are some things for you. Then she said goodbye and ran away holding her nose. After she left, Goober opened the package. Inside were some bars of pig soap. Goober smelled the soap and said, what a great smell. Then Goober shrugged, took the package with him down to the pond and called all the pigs. They came running. Then he jumped into the pond with the pigs and scrubbed them until they were pink. He rubbed and scrubbed and he washed and he rinsed. When he was done, the pigs were as clean, as sweat smelling as anybody in Easttown or Westtown. Goober sniffed the air and said, those pigs smell great. Goober took some of that great smelling soap back to his house. I can use this soap on me, he said. Well, that's the story. If you ever go to Westtown or Easttown, you'll hear the sweetest violin music you've ever heard in your life. And you'll hear people saying wonderful things about Goober. And they also say some nice things about a little girl who visits Goober every week. She always takes a package with her, and the people in Westtown and Easttown are very grateful. So everybody, find part D. Open your packet to part D. Here's a picture of something that happened in the story. What's Goober doing in this picture? Get ready. Yes, milking a cow. What are those squiggly lines coming off the pigs? Yes, very good. It's a bad smell. That cow doesn't look very happy. I wonder why. That little girl is holding her nose and saying something. I'll read what she's saying. You bake dice busik. Everybody, what is she trying to say? Get ready. Yes, you make nice music. Why does it sound so funny? Get ready. Yes, she's holding her nose. Your turn. Hold your nose and say, you make nice music. That sounds pretty bad to me. It's hard to do it, right? When you're going like this, it sounds different. You make nice music. The little girl is trying to say, you make nice music, but she can't say the right sounds for the M or the N while she's holding her nose. Those words are wrong. Your turn. Fix up the words that are wrong. Cross out the letters that are wrong. Write the correct letters above the cross out letters. Raise your hand when you're finished. What was the girl trying to say instead of bake? Get ready. Yes, make. So you could see, so you crossed out the B and wrote the M above it because she's trying to say make. What was the girl trying to say instead of dice? Get ready. Yes, nice. What did you write above the D? Above the D, you wrote an N because she's trying to say nice. What is the girl trying to say instead of music? Get ready. Yes, music. What did you write above the B? Get ready. Yes, M. Raise your hand if you fixed all the words the right way. Good for you. Later you can color the picture. And that's the end of lesson 15. And this week we're not having a lesson 16. So we're just having one lesson, which is this one. And that's the end for this week. Thank you, Spelman, so much.